Have you ever used GPS to find a new restaurant, track a package to your doorstep, or simply figure out where you are? Every single time you do, you are relying on the work of a woman whose genius remained hidden from the world for decades. This is the story of Gladys West, a mathematician who literally mapped our world and made modern life possible, but whose name you probably never learned in school. Her groundbreaking contributions laid the very foundation for the global positioning system, yet for most of her life, she was an unsung hero, a ghost in the machine that guides us all. Today, we unravel the story of the brilliant mind behind the blue dot on your screen. The world has lost a mind whose work guides us every day. On a quiet winter day, January 20th, 2026, Gladys West, a pioneering mathematician whose contributions helped make modern GPS possible, passed away peacefully at the age of 95. Surrounded by her family and friends, her death marks the end of an era, but her legacy is woven into the very fabric of our interconnected world. At its core, the problem West solved was one of immense complexity. How do you accurately model the shape of the Earth? It's not a perfect sphere, as we often imagine. It's a lumpy, irregular object with mountains, valleys, and varying gravitational pulls for any satellite-based navigation system to work. It needs an incredibly precise mathematical description of this shape, a geoid. Without it, a satellite's calculations would be off, sending a missile miles from its target or guiding a driver into a river instead of over a bridge. West's mathematical models of the Earth's shape became this critical foundation for satellite navigation, allowing for the precise positioning of any object, anywhere on the globe. Her work now guides everything from commercial airplanes and massive container ships to the smartphone in your pocket and the emergency services that save lives. Despite her monumental role in this technology, she once joked with a charming humility that she herself still preferred using old-fashioned paper maps. The journey to becoming a hidden figure of science began in a place far removed from advanced technology and satellite data. Born in 1930 in rural Sutherland, Virginia, Gladys May Brown grew up in the segregated South, a world of systemic barriers and limited opportunities. Her family were sharecroppers, and her early life was defined by hard labor on the farm, planting and harvesting tobacco and cotton under the hot Virginia sun. She walked miles each day to attend a one-room schoolhouse, a stark symbol of the educational disparities of the time. From a young age, West knew she wanted a life beyond the fields. She saw education as her only escape route. Her ambition was not initially aimed at the stars or complex mathematics. She originally planned to study home economics, a more traditional and accessible path for a woman at that time. However, in a high school geometry class, something clicked. She discovered a profound love for the logic, precision, and elegance of shapes and proofs. This newfound passion set her on an entirely new trajectory, one that would lead her to challenge the boundaries of what was thought possible. Her academic brilliance was undeniable. Graduating as valedictorian of her high school class, she earned a full scholarship to Virginia State College, now University, a historically black university. It was a pivotal moment that opened the door to higher education, a privilege not afforded to many in her community. At college, she majored in mathematics, a field dominated by men, and excelled. She earned her bachelor's degree and later returned to complete a master's in mathematics, solidifying her expertise and preparing her for a professional world that was not yet ready to acknowledge her talent. In 1956, her life took a decisive turn when she was hired by the U.S. Naval Proving Ground in Dahlgren, Virginia, now the Naval Surface Warfare Center. She was one of only 4 black employees at the facility, and one of only 2 women in her role as a mathematician. In this high-pressure, male-dominated environment, West began her quiet revolution. Working with the earliest room-sized supercomputers like the Naval Ordnance Research Calculator (NORC), she was tasked with translating complex physical phenomena into programmable code. Over a remarkable 42-year career, West and her team worked to develop increasingly sophisticated algorithms. These weren't simple calculations. They had to account for the Earth's irregular shape, its gravitational pull, and the subtle but significant forces of tides and tectonic shifts. These refinements were the secret sauce, the essential ingredients for creating a truly accurate and reliable satellite positioning system. The most dramatic and impactful moment of West's career came with the advent of the CZ satellite project in the 1970s. CZ was the first satellite designed to remotely sense the Earth's oceans with radar, and it produced an unprecedented flood of data about the ocean's surface height. It was West who was tasked with processing this mountain of information. Using complex algorithms and programming the powerful IBM 7030 Stretch computer, she managed to create a detailed mathematical model of the Earth's geoid with a level of accuracy never before achieved. This model, which precisely described the irregularities of the Earth's shape, became the foundational blueprint for the global positioning system. It was the breakthrough that made GPS a reality. Without the mathematical groundwork she helped establish, the global navigation systems used by billions of people today would simply not function as they do. The accuracy that allows a car to navigate a complex highway interchange or a rescue team to find a stranded hiker in the wilderness is a direct descendant of her work. For most of her career, however, West's monumental contributions remained largely unknown outside of scientific and military circles. She was a hidden figure in the truest sense, her name absent from the popular narrative of technological progress. It was only after her retirement in 1998, when a sorority sister read a short biography West had submitted for an alumni function, that her story began to surface. The revelation of her role in creating GPS was a shock, a testament to how easily the contributions of women, and particularly women of color, can be erased from history. The final chapter of Gladys West's life was one of long overdue recognition. As her story spread, she began to receive major honors that cemented her place in the pantheon of scientific pioneers. In 2018, she was officially inducted into the U.S. Air Force Hall of Fame, one of the highest honors in the field of space and satellite technology. She was also awarded the Prince Philip Medal by the UK's Royal Academy of Engineering, an award that recognizes an engineer of any nationality who has made an exceptional contribution to engineering as a whole. These accolades were a powerful correction to the historical record, a belated but crucial acknowledgement of her genius. Beyond the awards and the medals, her greatest legacy is perhaps the inspiration she provides. Her story is a powerful testament to the triumph of intellect and perseverance over systemic adversity. She proved that talent knows no race or gender, and she forged a path for generations of scientists, mathematicians, and engineers who would follow in her footsteps. Her life reminds us that behind every piece of technology we take for granted, there are human stories of struggle, brilliance, and quiet dedication. The next time your phone tells you to turn left in 500 feet, take a moment to remember Gladys West, the woman who mapped the world so you would never be lost.